Harald grabbed the golden band on his brow, pulled it clear of his white hair, and slowly lowered it onto Eric's brow. Eric's heart pounded at the feel of the cold metal on his forehead. But his excitement was short-lived, for Harald suddenly lost his balance and placed his hand on Eric's shoulder for balance. Erik reached up to steady his father, heat rising in his cheeks at his sire's weakness. Harald nodded his thanks and stepped back from his son. "Rise," he commanded, "and take the high seat." Erik stepped up to the oaken chair and turned to face the room. Then, with utmost care and a nervous exhalation, he sat on the smooth wooden seat. The steward placed the horn in Harald's outstretched hands. Carefully, Harald took the vessel and raised it to Erik. "From the womb of giants and gods alike has grown and flourished a race of kings. And like a giant oak, that race has spread its branches and roots of dominance throughout the north, and throughout Midgard. You, my son, are the next in that line of kings. I bid you, do not take it for granted, and remember always that your power lies in the hands of those who granted it to you, the gods." Harald lifted the horn over his head. "With the gods as my witness, I relinquish my high seat to the care of my son Erik. I beseech you, my gods, grant him in his kingship the wisdom of Odin, the strength of Thor, the vigilance of Heimdall, and the cunning of Loki." Harald then lowered the vessel to his lips and drank deeply of the liquid within. Erik took the horn from his father's hands and rose to his feet. "Noble father, I thank you for the trust you have bestowed upon me. Let it be heard by all that I will rule your kingdom as you yourself ruled, and I will guard with my life all that you worked so hard to create." Erik turned to the men who lined the hall, instantly marking their expectant gazes. They had a right to be nervous, he thought, for he planned to replace many of those old nobles with his own lords when his father finally died. "Noble lords and family, I ask you to accept me as your king, and to follow me as you followed my father. If you do, I can promise that you will want for nothing, and that you will live as you have always lived under Harald." It was a lie, but it needed to be said. He lifted the vessel above his head and gazed into the shadows beyond the roof beams. "Gods above, I thank you for the gift you have bestowed upon me, and humbly ask you to grant me all that I might need to rule this kingdom well." He dripped some of the horn's contents onto the hall's floor as a small offering for his request before bringing the vessel to his lips. "Come forth," the chief steward called after Erik replaced the horn on its stand, "and kneel to your new king."